NFTs, how can they help you as an artist? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Christian Musicpreneur Podcast, where we provide tips, tools, techniques, and resources to help you grow your ministry. I'm your host, Simone Henry, a business coach and mentor for independent Christian recording artists. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. This is, to all of you who are watching right now, this is Gary Noble. He is creative director over at EQ Exchange. Is that the name of the company?
Yes.
And basically what they do is they help artists to make an income using NFTs. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that today. It's a pretty advanced subject for my normal audience, usually, because I'm usually talking about building a fan base, building relationships with your audience, that kind of thing. But this is also a way of delighting your audience and creating some loyalty and
right.
Loyalty, exclusivity, things like that with your audience. So it kind of goes into that same subject. So first of all, Mr. Gary Noble, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yes, I've been an engineer since 1988. Prior to that, I was a DJ, and I just wanted to be more involved with the creation of music instead of just playing it. That's why I got into it, and I started in New York. I'm now in Miami, but I started in New York, and I was there for decades and worked with everyone. And but my main client was a producer named Remy, who's worked with numerous clients. The one that most people know me from is Amy Winehouse.
Okay.
I worked on all her albums.
On all her albums.
But I worked on all her albums. But I worked with many people, from Jasmine Sullivan to Miss Hill, and you name it.
Yeah,
I've been a part of it.
People.
Yeah, I've been a part of it, and I plan to keep going till I can't move anymore, because I just love this. I tried to take a break once, and I lasted 3 months, and I had to get back into it.
I think music tends to do that. It's something that really ignites something in your soul that just really wants you to be part of it.
It does. So the reason why I connected with you, I hope I'm not jumping the gun, is because
no, that's fine. That's where we're going.
I know it's on EQ. I know it's on EQ that we were lacking gospel artists, or and stuff like that. So I say, let me see what's going on. And you reached out, we talked, and blah blah blah, and then you asked me to be on the show.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us today. So first of all, I want to ask you a little, how did you get into working with EQ and this whole NFT situation?
Okay. I've always been interested in NFTs from before, but I never really pursued it, because every situation I looked into, like, the artist wasn't really taken into consideration. They just looked at their product and what they could do with it. And a lot of situations I didn't really like how it was set up. But this one was different. A really good friend of mine, he's the CSO at EQ. And he reached out and said they need people on, literally on the ground floor. You know what I'm saying? To connect and relate to people and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he knows that I've worked with many artists over the years, so he wanted me to be a part of it, and that's how I got started. And once they explained to me how the company was set up, I said, "Oh, this is great. Artists need to be on here, because they don't take your publishing or none of that stuff. They don't mess with that. They only take 3% of the first 3 sales, and to me, it was like a no-brainer. I said, yeah, I definitely want to be down. And I started reaching out to people and getting people on board. And that's how it's been. And people are still hitting me up today. Hey, what's going on? They want. So I've just been telling them to go on site and do this and do that, because hopefully by Friday, everything will be cleared, and then it'll be they'll be able to go online and look at the site and do everything. I know that once that happens, the participation and the input is going to be way up. It's going to be way through the roof. So that's why I was like, you know, people need to get on here. I don't care what genre it is.
Yeah.
You need to get on there, because you could have fans in Tibet. You won't even know.
And you wouldn't know.
Because, you know, the way it's set up, not right. If it's the way it's set up now, if you're not a part of a major label, or, you know, have somebody working a spot, you know, the Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff for you, because you can't be an artist in the US and then talk about being on Spotify in Tibet or China. That doesn't happen. But with this now, it's based on Web 3.0, and it is with this, you can be anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
Yes, they can access your site and, you know, reach out and talk. And I think it's a really, really good thing for artists.
It sounds like a good platform, and it sounds like a win-win for the artists. But let's go back to the beginning. Can you talk to us about what an NFT actually is? I know it stands for non-fungible token, but what does that actually mean?
It's basically a token. That's the name they give it, but it's basically an item that you can track. Once you post it, wherever it goes, whoever buys it, sells it, whatever, you can track every single instance of what's happening with the token. So people can't rob you like they do now with records. They can say, oh, we only sold 500 records, but meanwhile they sold 10,000. You know what I mean? It's like, you can track every movement of it. And because of the interest in NFTs, there's the price, you know, it keeps going up incrementally. And they provide, the site provides promotion, you know, based on what you discussed, the one is set up and all that kind of stuff. They're basically here, the lady, Janice, she's a big fan of music, and she's been a fan of music since teenage years. And she's done venture capitalist sites before, but this is the first time she actually got into music. And that came about because she had a conversation with a close friend of hers that asked her to look over contracts and stuff for that she was offered. And she was so like perturbed by what she saw. She was like, no, this can't be right. This can't be right. This can't be right. So she started discussing with her people, lawyers and whatever, what can she do to help with the situation? And they suggested that, you know, they do an NFT, and that's how I got started. She started reaching out to people, getting all the key people in place to help the site, you know, flourish. And that's what she did. So it took months of preparing it and everything, and, you know, talking to people, getting people on board, you know, and just getting everything in place. So now they're ready to launch. So now the last step is to getting approved by Apple for the app.
Okay.
You know, after that's done, it's going to really start moving like it's supposed to move.
Okay. So for context, I want to let people know that we're recording this the second week of March the 8th, 2022. So Friday would be the 11th, 2022. So that is the time frame that we're talking about here as far as EQ launching. But before we get into that, I want to go more into NFTs, what they are and what the benefits are for them. So you talked about this token and being able to track what you've sold and what people buy, and that's because of blockchain, right? And the ledger. Because when we say Web3, Web 1 was, you know, you can go on and you can get like information about all these different things. Web 2 was more, you can create your own content and other people are seeing it. Web 3 is more of a decentralized way of interacting on the internet. So right now, especially in the music business, what we have, and what I am distressed about is like how so many people are killing themselves trying to get all of these streams on Spotify, and Spotify in turn pays you pennies per stream. Well, actually, they pay you less than a penny per stream.
Yeah.
So you have to get so many streams in order to make any kind of decent money. And Spotify has basically control over the streaming market, right? You know, we talk about Apple Music, we talk
Right.
about YouTube and that kind of thing, but when anybody talks about streaming, really, they talk about Spotify. Well, with Web3, it gives you, the creator, the artist, more control over who sees your stuff and how it's sold and what you create, and you keep more ownership of it.
Definitely.
Right? So I have a friend who is he's very excited about artists being able to create basically a website on the Spotify platform and sell their merch on the Spotify platform and all that kind of stuff. But that's still giving up your creative control into Spotify's hands. But when we're talking about Web3, blockchain, NFTs, that kind of thing, we're talking about you having, you're creating your music, you're creating your art, and you're putting it out there for sale. And with this NFT, this token, well, whoever buys it, you can see where it goes from there, what the transactions actually are, right? So that's what this Web3 thing is all about. I remember when we talked earlier, we talked about exclusivity in your offerings and rewarding loyal fans. The very first thing I heard about NFTs was that you would create like one of something. And that's why the price is so high, because when somebody buys that thing, they can say, well, I've got this very unique thing and nobody else can have it. And because of the NFT, which is your token that says I own it, and then the trackability of the blockchain, you know, they can say they own this one particular unique thing. So the thing you're actually buying when you buy an NFT, you're not actually buying the item itself, you're buying a token that says you own it. So so what do you think about that? Like this idea of rewarding loyal fans, creating exclusivity in your offerings, that kind of thing?
I think that's actually a good thing. I think it's especially good for the artists and the people who are making the product.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you can see what's going on with it every day. You can check it. You can see exactly what's going on. You don't have to depend on other people to do it for you, or to sometimes lie to you or whatever. You know exactly. You just go in there, check your NFT. You know exactly what's going on. You know which countries are showing interest, who's buying, who's, you know everything that's going on with it. All the transactions has to go through the system.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so to me that alone is worth at least looking into it to see what it's about.
Absolutely.
And sorry, I mean to cut you. EQ uses a system that is tried to be as straightforward as possible with the artist. Mm-hmm. So every transaction is there for you to view if you're the owner of the thing. And for the making of the NFT, they use Cello, which is it doesn't affect the atmosphere, it doesn't affect the environment at all. I mean, a lot of the other ones like Ethereum and all that, mm-hmm. There's stuff you gotta worry about as far as
I've heard that.
Cello doesn't
I've heard
do
that.
Yeah.
Like this,
no, it's true. I looked into
Bitcoin
it,
mining and that kind of thing is very bad for the environment.
Yes, it is. I looked into it, and it's actually true, because I have to check out everything and for my own satisfaction before I can say it. So it is true. Cello, they have a fund that backs them, that they rebuild like forests and stuff in Africa and South America, and like they do all this stuff to kind of like stay on top of the whole aspect of how it's affecting the environment. They're very, very, very adamant about that.
Oh, that's
so
good.
that's
good.
Yeah. That's why Janice decided to go with the go with Cello instead of the other one. She looked at a bunch of stuff and she said this seemed like the best. And she, we had a Zoom meeting with everybody in the company, and she talked about and explained why she went with it and blah blah. It made sense to me, because I didn't realize until then I didn't realize that the making of the coin affects the environment.
Yeah,
I just thought it was, there's something minor, like it doesn't really do anything. But then I realized no. So if you start getting a lot of coins, like if you make 100,000
even though
coins,
it's digital.
Right. Even though that's why I didn't call it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put it together
physical,
either.
right? But the physical manufacture of the coin is what gives off the pollution.
Oh wow.
So now I know, and that's another reason why I got on board with
Really
EQ.
cute. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're trying to help people and they're trying to help the environment, and they're doing a lot of stuff and all that kind of stuff. And they're not. It's not just a name only. They actually have funding to back them. So to make sure that they stay on top of this. So that's why I went with this company.
Okay.
And it's cheap. It's much cheaper than getting your coin minted, as they call when it's being made, getting minted with EQ than with a lot of other companies.
Okay.
It's way cheaper. Yeah, I found that out too. I didn't even realize that.
So let's talk about you. I remember we talked about like needing a fan base for NFTs versus not needing a fan base. So you were saying that EQ does something special to help artists who don't necessarily have a fan base. Is that right? Or how does that work?
They offer promotion. Once you sign with them, they offer promotion. They still ask, and I still request that artists keep doing what they're doing, promote themselves on IG and however they do Discord, however they normally do it, keep doing that. But now also include your offering that you have on EQ into it, so that it'll help even more along with them doing what they're doing, and you combine it, it'll make the spread. Like you go from this to like that in like no time at all. It's already happening, and the site's not even launched yet.
Okay.
We did a couple of test runs and stuff, and it really made a difference.
How much help is there for, say, an older artist who has been in the music business for 20 odd years and is not super tech savvy on all this newfangled stuff?
We try to make it as simple as possible. And I talk to them and I send them a link to go here, add your name, add who referred you, and then somebody from the organization will reach out and start the process. And now I take it even further. Sometimes I just send them all the information, and I tell them, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I try to explain them to the best of my ability, but I don't handle the legal aspects of signing to the site. I don't do that. I'm not a lawyer.
So it's free to sign up on the site, and they only take a 3% cut of your first sale. Is that right?
3 sales. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. That's just for them to cover their costs of putting it up there. Yeah. That's what it is. And we don't mess with your publishing, your sync fees and all that stuff. Like, you can make an NFT. You could also put it on Spotify. You could also get a song placed on radio or TV. That's on you. We just did strictly with the NFTs.
Okay.
So we don't infringe on your copyright or anything. We've made that clear from jump that we were not going to do that. So,
which is, that's a good thing for the artist. So tell us how to sign up and what should artists do from there? Because my audience is Christian musicians,
right.
Gospel artists, CHH. I have lots of traditional artists, gospel jazz, lots of different genres, but all within the Christian sphere. And so you said that these are the folks that you need to join and so that your site has some variety in the NFTs that they're offering. So you guys tell us how to
like, we're trying to make it like, universal. We're not trying to make it like, oh, we only deal with this, or we only deal with that. It's universal for everyone. So I figured if people are doing NFTs, and their live shows and all that kind of stuff, they'll be able to make a good living.
You have
off of
a
it.
full career, really,
Yes,
if you are
exactly.
able to take advantage of all these different opportunities that are out here. But like you said, don't just jump into NFTs and expecting that to grow your fan base and thinking that it's
No,
gonna make you rich
no,
overnight
you still
or
have to
make
do
you
it right.
famous overnight. You know, you still need to be do the things that you need to do, putting out content, putting out good music, growing your fan base, engaging those fans, building that relationship, doing your live streams, doing your live shows, you know, nurturing those fans, offering them something that they want to buy. You know, you may jump into NFTs and find that for your fan base, they're not really into it. So maybe you go back into the traditional merch and, you know, CDs or that kind of thing. You may jump into the NFT world and find that your fans are loving it and this is kind of your home and this is where you stay. So it's all part of a full ministry ecosystem, you know.
Yeah. Cause to be honest, I was a newbie to this thing. I wasn't like, I knew what it was, I knew what it stood for, but I didn't realize all the different implications and what was involved. Now I do, but then so I had to get into. But now that I understand it, I try to tell everyone. I don't care if you have 100 followers on IG or you have 1 million followers. I reach out to everyone the same way and tell them, listen, this makes sense. This makes sense to do it.
It's something
they
just
look into try. It. Yes, exactly. Investigate it at least, figure out what's what, and then make it work for you. Like some people I know are offering, are thinking of offering, like tickets. Like you buy the NFT, and the next show when they're in your town, you get to go to the show. You don't have to pay nothing extra. Like there's so many different ways you could approach it.
There's so much you can do.
It could be wear. It could be, you know, any type of clothing or anything else that you offer, and it's all ties in together. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
So the NFT doesn't necessarily have to be just a music NFT. You can do a special T-shirt or a backstage pass to one of your concerts or anything. It can really be anything that you want to offer that delights a fan, that makes it, that's gonna build that loyalty with your fan base. That's right. It. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So give us the website and tell us what to do.
Well, it's eq.exchange.
Okay.
It's eq.exchange. And basically, there's no website. They're doing an NFT site, but it's going to launch hopefully Friday.
So the app is going to launch on Friday.
Yeah, the app is going to launch, and that will have all information of everything. And what they're trying to do is make the app in such a way that when you are part of EQ and you're on there, you can go in there and you can see what the NFT is doing. You can see what Spotify is doing. You can see what Apple. They're trying to make it like, you know, a comprehensive site. So you don't have to go like 10 different places like how it is now. You just go one place but you know, everything is working on, and you're gonna see how people respond to it and everything. But I say for artists, for the majority of artists, it's a good thing to be on there, because now once you're on there, you're accessible worldwide. Somebody who's a fan of yours, but they're living in Germany and you're in the US, they have trouble accessing your stuff because they're in another country.
True. Yeah.
With NFTs, right? NFTs, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so tell me about the app. So you said it's launching on the Apple Store.
Yeah, they're doing an Apple and also Android.
It's going to launch on the Android store at the same time.
Right, at the same time. But I don't know about, I just know about Apple because that's what I work with. So I actually have the test app and I've been trying it out, and it's really cool. And I think this is one aspect of it that for music is actually going to be good for everyone across the board. I don't think it's just going to be one person. It's going to affect everyone across the board. And I think it'll be actually a good thing. And the token price is going to vary depending on who it is, of course, and what's involved and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
one
go
of
ahead.
the things I was wanting to talk about was that the artist gets to set the price. Is that right? The the platform doesn't set what the price of your NFT is going to be, right?
Right. To an extent, like you can't be only have 100 followers and talk about you want to sell an NFT for $1,000. It's not gonna. It doesn't compute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the door is there, so that you might start with 100 people, and then 2-3 months you go up to 50,000. So your price is going to go up then. And every time the NFT is resold, there's a profit attached to it, and you get, as the creator of the NFT, you get a percentage of it.
Okay,
yeah, right.
It can be resold on the platform. So
Yes,
somebody
yes,
buys it, they can come
exactly.
on and resell
Yep.
it to
So
somebody
you can
else, and
sell
the
it,
price goes
right?
up.
You can sell it for $20, right? So you sell it for $20, and then somebody comes along and say, "Hey, man, I really like this NFT," and they offer you 30 for it. And they keep it for a couple of months, and somebody's coming like, "Oh, this is cool. I want this," and they offer 40 for it. But sometimes I'm just using those numbers, but sometimes the numbers are higher, and the space, the time region that we're working with is much shorter. But I'm just giving you an example. So every month is going up. So you can sell an NFT today, and in a year from now, you sell it originally for $20, right? A year from now, it's worth $1,000.
So, and every
But it
time
might
it's
be.
resold,
that's yeah. It
the
keeps going up.
artist gets a cut
Gets a
of the
percentage.
resale
Yep.
price. Gets a percentage of
Yep.
that resale price. Oh, that's
So you get a
fantastic.
percentage. Yeah, exactly. So
That's
you get a
fantastic.
percentage of it. The way it's set up now, if somebody say you buy a CD, right, from the store, you pay for it at the store, and then the money stops there.
Right.
I mean, the label
The
gets
artist
some of
only
it,
gets
but the
paid
artist once. Exactly. With this now, it's different, and you just gotta set it up so that it keep creating. So this could feed generations if it's done right.
So with that being said, what I want to tell artists is that work on creating something unique and interesting that's going to be valuable, that people are going to want to buy and trade and resell. And that's how it's going to make money for you.
Yep, that's it. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Well, you want to add, stuff, clothing, it could be anything. It could be video, a short film, whatever, however you want to do it, to add to it. And you know what I mean? It's you can do whatever.
The limit, really. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what to me is so exciting. And I'm still doing what I'm doing. I already had artists reach out to me to mix or master their songs for them to go on the site. That's already happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the opportunities are there. It's up to us.
Yeah, we have to take advantage of them.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Gary, for being on the show with me today. And all you guys who are listening, check out this EQ. Is it going to be EQ Exchange on the App Store?
EQ.exchange, yep.
EQ.exchange on the App Store? Okay, so check that out, get registered, and start creating your NFTs. Get into it, because this is the way of the future.
Because it requires a different way of thinking. At least it did for me.
It does.
Because I didn't think right. It did. But now I'm into it. I'm like, okay, I see what could happen. And I basically just went through my phone book, and a lot of them get it right away. Especially the younger kids, they get it like oh yeah, blah blah blah. They're on it. Oh yeah, we've been doing this and that. But a lot of the people, older people like me, it took some convincing that to really get on them.
Why?
Some people,
I think it requires a different mindset. The younger generation, they're used to the internet and having all these apps, YouTube and social media, where they go online and they get to create and they put their stuff out there, and they can sell it, they can stream it, they can create membership clubs around their stuff, their content, and make money out of it. Whereas I think the older generation is used to the label mentality, where they create it and then they put it in the hands of somebody else in order to do the marketing and the promotion, and and then the label decides, okay, this is how much we're going to pay you, but the younger generation, I think they understand the ownership aspect a whole lot more, because for them, that's the way it's always been.
Right.
They didn't need the gatekeepers. YouTube created a platform. You turn on your camera on your phone and you just create whatever it is you want to create and you get paid for it, right? Nobody decides how much you get paid. I mean, the platform kind of does, but it's ultimately it's up to you how much you want to get paid. And, you know, it's your hard work, it's your consistency, you decide, okay, well, this content's not working, so let me try this content, you know. But the older generation, it's a mindset
we're
shift.
Still locked in. Our brains are still locked into the way it used to be.
Yeah, the way it used to be.
You know,
well, we're so very thankful for you being here today. And we're gonna let you go because I know you've got like 100 other things to do. But thank you so much for being on today.
Thanks for pointing it out because I gotta run. I really enjoyed coming on here and speaking with you. And you know, like I said, if you have any more questions, anything, just feel free to reach out.
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Too many artists don't have the audience and fan base necessary to make the kind of impact they want or the income they need to sustain their careers. They're frustrated by working hard day by day without getting any traction. Eshe Music provides a simple, evergreen process for getting more listeners and followers and teaching them how to be true fans. You will be able to focus on your music and make an impact while generating constant income. To find out more, sign up for my free 3-part video course that shows you how to build that strong fan base. Go to eshemusic.com/morefans. That's ECHE music.com/morefans. See you there. Thanks for listening to the Christian Musicpreneur podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean a lot to me if you would like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to share your takeaways in the comment section below and join my free Facebook group, Christian Recording Artists Seeking Freedom. See you next time, and remember to take action and never give up.